bertemu kembali pada podcast YouTube jurusan Pendidikan Bahasa dan Seni, Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Mulawarman. Hari ini bersama saya Maria dan nanti akan dilanjutkan dengan rekan saya Syamjanita. Kita kedatangan dua tamu istimewa hari ini, yaitu dua mahasiswa internasional peserta program Sea Teacher Exchange batch 9 tahun 2023 dari University of Santo Tomas, Manila. So today we are very grateful to welcome two of our inbound students from the Sea Teacher Exchange program. They are Rene, and then later we will have another one, Anthel, from the University of Santo Tomas, Manila. All right, so let's see what we can discuss with the two of them today. Hello, Rene, how are you?
Hello, I'm actually fine. Thank you.
Okay, I know that good morning or selamat pagi is magandang umaga, but what is selamat siang? Because it's already siang in Indonesia.
For salamat siam, it's magandang hapon.
Magandang
Hapon.
Okay,
Yes.
so magandang hapon, Rene.
Magandang hapon din po.
Okay, so welcome to the Language and Arts Education Department.
Mhm.
It's very nice to have you and Antel here finally in your last or final days in Samarinda. Okay, how do you feel?
I'm actually both excited and sad
Yeah.
because I'm sad because it's 1 month is too short for us.
Okay.
Actually, Entel and I wanted to stay more in Samarinda for a little while, but it's impossible. And I'm actually very excited because it's my first time
Mhm.
going into a podcast room.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Very excited for that.
Yeah, maybe this is the start of your debut as
Oh,
a
yes.
podcast star. Okay, so yeah.
Mhm.
We will have to thank Dr. Iwan for the opportunity as well. So maybe he is creating some of the future podcasts or YouTube stars
Whoa.
later. Yeah. All right. So Rene, you are studying at the science department. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I know that you have been also talking in some webinars, right, about your experience being an exchange student. So we might not talk about that again because it's going to be the same topic all over again. But what we have been actually curious about is that because I, Dr. Iwan, and then Dr. Samjanita, we are teaching at the English language department, and then we're kind of curious about how you guys learn English because you guys speak English really fluently. So
Thank
can you tell us how is it back then in the Philippines?
So in the Philippines, we learn English since when we were like elementary students. So, and other than that, the media that surrounds us is all English. Like news announcements, they are in English, and then the movies that they showed us are all in English. So because of that, because we are studying English since we were in elementary and we were surrounded by a lot of English media, that is why we learn how to speak English like fluently.
But when you say when you first learned English at elementary school, right? Did you directly or were you directly asked to speak, or was it like grammar learning, or what kind of lessons did you get, if you could still remember that?
If I remember correctly, I think it is mostly like grammar.
Oh, okay. So learning the structure as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my case, when I was in elementary, the teacher will go inside of the classroom and we will teach about like the clauses, the past tense, present tense, and future tense. And then the activities that we'll be doing is they will give us like a story. We will read it, we will analyze it, and like reflect on it. However, we're not allowed to write it in Filipino. We write it in English. So that is why we also practice like the grammar structure and stuff.
And that was already in elementary school.
Yes, I was in like grade 3
Oh,
when I was learning
wow.
those.
Okay, okay. And did you find it challenging, or how did you feel about that kind of activity?
For me, I'm actually very interested in learning English
Mm-hmm.
because when I was like watching movies and
Mm-hmm.
YouTube videos, I was similar to like how Indonesians interpret English. I find it very cool and very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why when I am learning how to speak in English,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also very excited to read the stories, to answer the what they call this, answer like the reflection.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm still having difficulty in learning like difficult words as
Mm-hmm.
well because there are some instances that even though they teach us those difficult words, we rarely use those. So
Oh,
that is
yeah.
why for me it is also very difficult and very like interesting at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Did you also do some book reading activities in the class?
Oh yes, we always do that.
Oh, okay.
Like one of the projects in during my I think it was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
like I was in grade 8 I think. We were required to read the entire novel that we like.
Oh, oh, that you like. So you chose the novel yourself?
Yes, we chose a
Okay.
novel. And then we will write a book report based on that
Oh,
novel.
okay.
So at first, because those times I really don't read like novels, so I find it
Mm.
like very, what novel should I read? Because I mostly watch like videos, like
Mm-hmm.
movies.
Mm-hmm.
But then, because of that book report that we wrote back then, I think I find it fascinating
Mm-hmm.
or rather interested
Mm-hmm.
in reading like novels.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly read like mythology
Mm-hmm.
novels,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Nordic and Aztec
Mm-hmm.
books.
Yeah. So what was the title of your first novel? The one that you had that you did a book report for?
It's quite embarrassing to
Why?
share
Why?
this.
Was it a romance
No,
novel?
no, no, no. Okay. So, in the English class, I love playing video games.
Oh,
And there is
okay.
this novel based on the video game.
Ah.
It's called like Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh, yeah,
So it
I've
is.
heard of it. I think Habibi knows
Yeah.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
also
gamers.
yes. So when I read it, I find it like because I'm very familiar with the novel already
Mm.
since I played the game, so I
Mm.
just chose that book.
Oh,
But
okay.
to be honest, I prefer the book than the game because it has more content that were
Mm.
not appear in the game. That's why
Mm.
I think that is my like favorite novel that I've read.
Okay. But that was actually very nice of your teacher to let the students
Mhm.
pick the novels that they liked to be reported, because sometimes teachers just, provided boring books. They thought that the books are interesting, but for students, big no. So I
Yes.
think it was kind of, yeah, nice. Yeah, the one that we actually is practicing here. Yeah, Miss Nita. Right. Very very nice. And what about when you are already in your tertiary or higher education? What about the English instruction?
Oh, for us, it is mostly
Mm-hmm.
purposive communication
Mm-hmm.
because in our tertiary, since we chosen like like science
Mm-hmm.
major, like English is like not a major class.
Mm-hmm.
So for the English, it is mostly like speaking and
Mm-hmm.
research, like research writing
Okay.
instead of like literature
Mm-hmm.
because that is served like for English majors.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So more like academic English as well, and
Yes.
the English that you need for your subject.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so no more reading novels.
No, no, no
No more
more.
reading novels. Yeah, but are you still reading novels in your spare time?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
There is this novel that I was reading back in the Philippines called The Red Bean Paste.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the author, but it is quite sweet. It is about it is written by a Japanese author
Oh.
that is about a guy who went to an old Japanese shop where the lady is creating this like like the fish that has like a red bean paste in it. So she is making that, and she told, like, she teaches the boy, but I haven't finished the like I was in the first part, but the second novel, because I'm reading two novels.
Oh, okay.
I forgot the title because I'm in the middle. So it is about this, like the country of Japan is sink, so there are no Japan doesn't exist. And then it talks about like there's this guy who wanted to meet this girl, and that girl invented her own language of speaking in Scandinavian. And that culture, I think that is my second favorite book, because it explores the culture of different countries, like in Germany, like in they also discuss the culture in the Greenlands, and also Indians. So it is also like a love story, and it's kind of sweet. And for me, when I was reading it, we have this expression called "sana all," or "I
What's
wish."
that? Oh,
I
okay.
wish.
What is that again?
It's sana all.
Sana all.
Yeah,
Okay.
sana all.
Sana all.
So,
Okay.
so we always say that expression when there is someone like a couple, and we could say "sana all, I wish."
But that is specifically for that context, not for just the general I wish.
Yes, it can be in like when you have a rich friend.
No,
And you
okay,
said
okay.
sana all.
Yeah, maybe I will start using that sana all. Manifesting as well.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we need to wrap up the session. It's very nice to be speaking to you, but before we end our conversation, do you have like a message or a tip or some tips for Indonesian students who would like to learn English or would like to improve their English to be able to, say, for example, join an exchange program just like what you have done? Do you have some tips, strategies?
So for me, the best thing, like the really best thing when to learn a second language is to talk to someone that speaks that language. It's like, for example, you can talk to like your friends, like in English. You can also like practice them. And my second tip is, don't be afraid to speak in English. You don't need to worry about like grammars and stuff, because the important thing in speaking is that the two people understand what you convey and the message. And the third is, I think, is also the way that I learn English, is to surround yourself in different English medias, like watch videos. You can also learn how to sing, like in like Western music. You can also read like newspapers and novels, because they will really help to learn, to discover new vocabularies, and also learning about the grammatical structure as well. So that's my tip. And I think I wanted to say something. I wanted to say shout out to my like 4SM and to Sergei, and I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Rene. And then for for your information, Rene and Ansel are going back home soon, but we do hope that they will return to Samarinda as they have, they have tasted the Mahakam River water. So they will definitely come later for, for maybe just visits or things like that. All right, thank you very much, Rene,
you.
for your time. Now we are going to have another guest who is also from the University of Santo Tomas, Antal, and then the host will be Miss Samrianita.